Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry about the little mishmash here. So, what's going on? I just had a. Shirin is here. Where have you been, Shirin John? Hope all is well. Morgan is here. 24. Yeah, finally we hit 24K. I just noticed it. Um, and Sanjeev Krishna is here. Says hi, hello there. Remember our protocol, Sanjeev. We need to know gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. And yes, I did have it. Where is it? Zit that I squeezed the hell out of it, and now it looks like I've been in a. What was it? It's hard to kind of know which side. Oh, there we go. Is it on my left? It is on my left. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I squeezed the hell out of it yesterday, so that's why it looks like I've been in a fight or something. Yeah, we did hit 24,000. Oh, 24,005. My goodness. Shameful. Okay. So, do you guys not hear me at all? Or can you hear me? If you don't, okay. But if you do, then how come Sanjeev hasn't added his credentials yet? And no one seems to be doing what I ask anyhow. Paapa Kofi Awiredu says nothing because as long as I don't see credentials, I won't answer anymore. God damn it, guys. How many times do you have to repeat this? Age, gender, where are you tuning in from? Otherwise, no soup for you. Papa Kofi Owiredu says, I reached out 3 times with no reply. Where did you reach out? It's the first time I see your. Where'd you reach out, Papa? 21-year-old. And she said, listen, first of all, tell me, where did you reach out? And where you tuning in from? Morgan, male, 28, Ireland. Does alcohol aggravate OCD? Well, when you use such substances, alcohol, your brain is actually exiting the balance that it has. And OCD being when you're already off balance, when your brain is actually functioning without any substance, and still OCD causes it to be weird, then obviously when you don't have enough control to begin with using some substances, then you can't unleash your powers of vetoes and choices as properly you could when you're not under the influence of alcohol. So obviously these things does. Of course, probably not in just maybe have a beer now and then, but if you abuse it, of course. Papa Kofi says to my ex, sorry, Papa, I don't understand exactly what you mean. To my ex, I don't understand what you mean to my ex. And I asked, where did you reach? When did you reach out 3 times? Where? I haven't seen any of your, because I usually answer all my comments. And how did you reach out? What do you mean? This channel has only few uh, features for service. One is a free service, which is the videos, about 3,000 videos. You can choose and search whichever you need. It's there, 24/7. Then the other free service is my live streams. They're all free, as we are today here. But anything more than that, you need to go on my site, mind@seekstruth.com, and make an appointment on Skype. And even then, when you make a 1 hour appointment, when you're a new client, I add another hour, and we'll have 2 hours to discuss what's concerning you one on Skype. Other than that, there is no way that I can allocate more time as pro bono type of thing. So I wonder, where did you reach out? What do you mean when you reached out 3 times? Who reached out? Papa says, I'm 21 and she's 20, and since we broke up, I tried to reach out to her. Oh, you reached out to her. Jesus, could you kindly make the sentences correct so I won't be going hunting to see what it means? Just make it clear and relax. Just make it clear. We'll see what's going on. So right now it's too confusing for now. I'll get back to you. I'm a little pissed off. Waste the time to figure out what you mean. Just make it clear. I'll come back to you in a second. John is here. What does it mean about me if I cheated? John, first, let me know age, gender, where you're tuning in from, then I'll get to you. Shirin is a 33, female from US. Thank you for that, Shirin. John says, had 2 different experiences where the guy I was dating or was in a serious relationship with, ending it abruptly without any warning. Are men just more assertive and faster to make life choices, social choices without dragging it? Or this is not the norm? Men, just like women, take the time to process things and slowly detach and are just secretive about it. Well, Shirinjan, it's not like there's one kind of a man and one kind of a woman that we say men are like this, women are like this. Among women and among men, there are many different types, upbringing, mentality, manners, morals, values, and they comply and they follow the directive and the conditionings they've received in their consciousness. If someone's maybe upbringing or parents were behaving in a certain way, that might become part of his way of or her way of thinking or deciding or approaching challenges of life. But in general, no, there are many, many, many men who are very normal and very protective of their emotions and caring about their relationships and think it through before they want to go forward or they want to break it up. A person who simply abruptly breaks it up, it probably has ulterior motives or have not been able to sort things out or has sorted it out, but it's a little bit frightened of not being able to handle it if it goes any further. So acts as a fear based on his fear and quickly cuts it off. Or Maybe he has found something else that is easier for him or less complicated or has lesser standards and it's more towards his level of consciousness. Maybe another girl that is got different values than you have, that it's not maybe as sophisticated as your values, or maybe she's more of a type that he's hoping to be interacting with, such as, I don't know, maybe not having to be responsible for anything. And she wouldn't, I don't know, has differences that it serves him to what he's looking for. Maybe he's not a man who wants to take responsibilities. Maybe he feels he's being choked because he's not ready for any kind of a real relationship. Maybe he can't measure up. Maybe he just want to fool around here and there. There's so many different reasons. Maybe he feels that, oh, it's getting serious and he can't handle it. But if she, and some of them are scared and leave you because they fear you might leave them because they don't measure up and they feel like they don't have the ability or responsibility level, maturity level, money, all these things suddenly, crowds them to see that their lifestyle is going to be changed. It would have to be more responsible. They are not ready for it. It would have to be more productive. They don't want to do that. And all of these, when it gets a little bit serious relationship, they just want to fly the coop. And since they don't have the guts to discuss it, and they actually don't want to be convinced by facing you and interacting with about the subject and not being able to have enough logic for continuing what they have decided, they're scared of that and they know they can't have real good justifications. They just cut it without discussion. So, but that's not the representation of all men that are out there. Not at all. Far from it. It just so happened that you had experience with two such characters. Believe me, there are lots of women out there that many good men wonder, why are these people like this? Why are these girls behave like this? Why are they jumping around? Why are they not committed? Why are they not loyal? Why are they not, attentive? Why are they constantly looking for something else, for attention? Uh, there's so many weird behaviors out of women out there as well, but they don't represent 100% of women. Only a certain percentage of them that happen to be somehow be on the same lane that you were traveling, and you guys bump into each other. And at the beginning, things, because everybody wants to get intimate and they'll be at their best behavior, so it seems like they're the right kind that you've been looking for. But after a while, that whole novelty and the challenge runs out, and you'll see that their character is not really what you're interested in, and the vice versa. And so the two decide to sever the relationship, some with style and discussions and conversations and a proper approach, some that style, hoodlum style, fearful style. you know all right, so let's go back to Papa Kofi. So let's see, he still hasn't told me where he comes from. All right, I need to know where you come from. Okay, then I'll get back to you when I have that. And Diligani says, Salam Muallim, 24 May, London. Came from just one date. It was good. I feel like I want to focus on myself for now and not get into any more dates for now. Okay. That means she didn't tickle your fancy. Yeah. All right. Nova says, hello, Marin. Hello, Nova. This is male 21, Florida, USA. How do we not let bad memories that are related to HOCD affect our mood? Because it doesn't matter. You're paying attention to something that is a suggestion rather than paying attention to you, yourself, and your preferences and your vetoes and your choices. You're distracted with something that you're trying to prove. Why are you trying to prove to anything or anybody or any entity anything? I walk around, if somebody calls me something, calls me an asshole, why do you have to prove that he's not an asshole? To an asshole. To someone who's got no business making judgment about anybody. Why would I think it's important for me? Why? Because I'm constantly thinking about the image I've created about myself in my head, and somebody is trying to tarnish that image by calling me something that I'm not. And I have to now prove to that person that my image is righteous and what you called me is not the right image for me. I have to defend that image. The image doesn't even exist. It's an image. It's just something you think this is how the world must see you. Just don't give a shit. Be who you are, do what you want to do, enjoy your life, and don't have an image. So nobody can actually offend you by calling you something which would, in fact, seem to be tarnishing the image you have created of yourself and the image that you want other people see you as. Forget the image and don't give a shit. So when somebody calls me an asshole, if I'm in the right mood, I'll just pass by. If I'm angry, I may turn around and say, listen, fuckhead. But most probably the best thing is to just keep on going because that word has no power. That suggestion has no reality, actuality, and power to it. But it has a meaning, that word that was uttered, or that thought, or that image that came to from somebody else or came from your own brain. And that meaning of the word or interpretation of that suggestion or image seems to act as a conclusion. And therefore, you're no longer dealing with somebody uttered some nonsense or your brain conjured up a thought. You're dealing with the meaning of the word or the image or the suggestion, which is a conclusion. Now you're dealing with a conclusion. I'm walking around and somebody calls me gay, something that I'm not. So now, instead of observing that somebody said something, or maybe somebody calls me anything else, whatever, calls me a car, I don't know, calls me a, I don't know, superstar or whatever that I'm not. So instead of just observing that there was a word uttered from a source that has got no credibility, instead I'm dealing now with the conclusion of the meaning of the word, which I cannot contest the meaning of the word itself because it is in the dictionary and that's what it is set to mean, to refer to. I can't contest that. Because I can't contest the meaning of the word, then somehow I think that the meaning of the word is also credible and true about me. No, it's only that what it means that is incontestable. But it doesn't mean that what it means, it can refer to me just because it's been uttered. The meaning of the word and the credibility of it in regards to me is two different things. But we make a mistake when we hear the word, we also associate it with the conclusion, and now we're dealing with the conclusion, not with just observing somebody said something that is not true. And this same thing happens exactly when your brain conjures up something that you're not about. You're not interested. That's not your value. You're not in, that's not your inclination. Whether it calls you an engineer, whether it calls you a astronaut, whether it calls you homosexual, whether it calls you uh, whatever that you're not, or it's not your values or lifestyle, it makes no difference. It's got no credibility, but you're not focusing on this actually not having credibility. You're focusing on the meaning of the word that's been uttered, and you're trying to protect your image, and you go to war with it. And this interaction and exchange and trying to prove to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that utters something about you is going to cause continuation of thoughts forming about, against, and all that, and occupies your brain for so long. So, what's the solution? So, I don't care. I don't care. You call me homosexual? Okay. Brain suggests that I'm homosexual. It can suggest whatever it wants. It suggests another 80, 90,000 thoughts a day. Am I supposed to go after every one of them and prove to the brain, to an organ? I'm proving to a fucking organ that you're wrong or you're right or you're this or you're that, and interact with it. It's like proving to your liver or kidney, if they had the capability of instilling or suggesting some thoughts or images. It's an organ. This brain is not you. You're not the brain. It malfunctions. It has glitches. So it says, I'm something that I'm not. I'm interested in something that I'm not. Suggests that, oh, I like to suck that guy's dick. Okay, it suggests, what the fuck? I don't give a shit. It's a brain. It has its own problems. It's not infallible. It's not perfect. It's an organ. It's an apparatus. Hmm? Like any other electronic machine, it goes into many glitches. It's all about neurons and all these billions of transactions. So it gets malfunction in its signaling system. I, however, am the awareness. I'm the boss. I'm the owner of all these entities, physical and mental. I choose, I veto, I decide how to protect what I'm interested in, what is in line with my values. I, not the brain. Brain is no different than many other people out there that I'm not connected with them. Brain happens to be mounted on my head, but it is a separate system. It says shit like anything else. It malfunctions like anything else. My intestine malfunctions. I get diarrhea. I have no question about that. Diarrhea is not me. And I try to help it, to cure it and fix it. But when it got something to do with my brain, oh, brain said I'm this or that. I'm a pedophile. So it must be true because the brain said, what's the credibility of the brain? It's an organ. I choose. So many thoughts during the day come to my brain. Murder this, angry at that. Possibly images of all kind of disgusting things that I'm not interested in different fields and different topics and stuff. I'm not going to go data hunt all of them. I'm not going to prove to the brain I am, I'm not, and whatnot. It doesn't mean what comes to my brain, it's representing me or I'm going to do it. It can come and go. As I said to you, consider yourself an ocean and consider thoughts ships. These ships come and go. They happen to be able to travel on this ocean. Ocean belongs to me. But every time that a ship shows up, regardless of what it's carrying, what merchandise it's carrying, that will not affect the ocean. It's just a pathway for them to pass by. I'm not supposed to stop every ship that comes and say, what you got in it? What does it have to do with me? Oh, you brought lumber on this ship. That means the ocean is going to be a tree. No, it's got no relevancy to me. I'm just a pathway. I allow these things to come and go. The sooner they pass by, the more I have free time to enjoy the sunshine and rest on my shores. That's how you should think of thoughts. They're just nuisance. They're things that they come and go, and it's a function of the brain to make thoughts. So it makes thoughts all kinds. It doesn't even know what it makes. It just makes whatever information has seeped through the consciousness, through what's available in the world, what's in the mediums and so on. Somehow you became aware of existence of such things in the world. Could be of any topic. And it makes thoughts by using all those things that have seeped through your consciousness. That's all. And many of them, considering all the information that is out there, could be about different sexuality, different inclination, different lifestyles. All that is in here. and the fact that you love who you are, what you are, there's a fear with it coming that not to be what you love to be. Anything you love in this life and is important to you, there's a fear of losing it. Your sexuality is the most important thing to you. That's why you're constantly trying to protect it. And this feeling of protecting it to be who you are because you love who you are causes attacks of the brain opposite of what you are. And that's where the OCD and HOCD is. Thoughts are the roots of all problems. But the good news is that they're just thoughts. They have no fucking powers. None whatsoever. But if you believe they do, then you're fucked because you're constantly following, trying to prove to some non existence virtual entity that your actuality is not what they suggest to be. They're virtual. How could they have anything to do with your actuality? But you give their suggestions a life by actually falling for the bullshit. So protect your choices and vetoes and don't worry about suggestions. Don't give a damn. Don't seek assurances. Don't give a shit. The brain suggests you're homosexual. So, okay, great. Fine. If you're homosexual, brain suggests you're heterosexual. Say, okay, fine. Just don't go data hunting. Don't give a shit. It's got no, the source of these suggestions have no credibility. Once you give credibility to the source, then you start trying to prove it. Otherwise, engage in data hunting and debating with it. Don't give a shit. Focus on your life based on your vetoes and choices, not based on thoughts, ideas, images, and suggestions. That's the end of this discussion. All right. John Brooks says Belgium and I'm 20 male. Thank you for that. Jack Gowl. My goodness, where the hell have you been? Colonel Gotham Singh says hello, sir. Hello there. All right. What else do we have here? Sanjeev Krishna says, I'm having HOCD. I'm unable to find help in my country. Of course you do. There's so many brilliant psychologists there. But anyhow, we, on this channel, there are two main playlists. One is called Intrusive Thoughts, Transient Thoughts, OCD, HOCD, Negative Thoughts. It discusses interpretation of thoughts as it comes to your brain and opens up the perception of these thoughts. And there's another playlist that is approaching it differently on the other tangent, which is focusing on the separation of brain's thoughts, and you and your thoughts. Your thoughts are when you use the apparatus of the brain to create certain thoughts that is beneficial or assisting you to achieve what it is that you want to calculate or achieve in that given day. And the fact that the brain itself uses its own apparatus to create thoughts as well. Brain is not you, you're not the brain. That focuses on showing you that you're not the brain. Therefore, what the brain says, it's got of no relevance to you. It's a two different system. And that playlist called Intrusive OCD, HOCD short videos. Then I have many links of well-known psychologists, expert in OCD and HOCD, because not every psychologist knows about OCD and HOCD. They have to be specialized in it, such as specialists such as Dr. Phillipson, and he has interviews on this YouTube, and you can watch his short videos or longer discussions with an interviewer, and Dr. Jan Weiner and Dr. Schwartz. These are all scientists who have spent their lifetime about OCD and experts in subsets of OCD, including HOCD. So you can watch all these videos, you can, watch their links and educate yourself, and then you'll be able to manage this and move on with your life. Noah says, great explanation, Mehran. Thank you for that. And Gautam Singh says, I have a long paragraph prepared about the situation I'm facing. Shall I send? I don't know if the long paragraph can come through because there's a limitation. Maybe you got to send it part one, part two, part three. I think maximum you can get 4 lines or 4 and a bit lines in each send off, in each segment. Sanjeev says, thank you, sir. You're quite welcome. While you guys thinking, I'm just going to refresh my tea. Be right back. Let me just put something here for you to watch while I'm away. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind that seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.
But we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing. Again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you. Thank you very much.
So, sorry about that, guys. I take some moments. Sometimes I have to respond to some emails and things. So I give a little bit of a break to you guys and to myself and refresh my tea. It's a low budget production, so there is no service here to bring me tea. So here it is. And let's see. What do we have here now? Jack says, I love the interdimensional cup there, Mary. Oh yeah, this is my invention. I just love this. It just reminds me of the favorite place on earth for me, which the bastards don't let me now go with all this bullshit of mandates and all that. I haven't seen my hometown where I love most on earth. Damn. All right. So do something about it, Colonel. What good are you? Sanjeev says, I will be coming to Canada for my higher education in a few months. Will I be able to meet you in person? Where do you go, Sanjeev? Which part of Canada? Canada is a huge nation. From west coast to east coast is about 5 hours by plane. So what part of Canada are you going? Sanjeev says, though there is a lots of videos about HOCD in YouTube, my anxiety goes away only by watching your videos repeatedly whenever I feel anxious. Wunderbar. But my question is, why the hell then we are not having 1 million subscribers? Because we have such good content about OCD, HOCD, thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, breakups, relationships, all these amazing things. Over 3,000 videos here, and still we're just hit 2005 after 11 years. What the hell is going on? So proof is in the pudding, but somehow our pudding doesn't have any proof in it. All right. Let's see. Ed Lirgu. Ed, the first thing to do, first of all, welcome. I think it's your first time here. It's the first time I see your screen name. But I need to know a little bit about you, like the credentials, the 3 little codes. How old you are, what your gender is, and where you're tuning in from, which city, which country. So I'd be appreciating that. I would appreciate that. So I'll get back to you once I have those. One of the important things, oh, here it is, Ed. I'm sorry, my bad. It says, hi, Meran, male 41, New York. After 16 years married, 16-year married relationship down the drain. Oh, after 16-year married relationship down the drain, I guess I didn't want to accept the reality at first, but ex moved on, married again this year with the other person. 41. How old is she? Must be about the same age, I guess. Well, look, shit happens. What do you want to do? You want to hang on to this idea that it shouldn't have because it's me. Yeah, it's you, but also there was a she involved, and that she may not be as committed, as righteous, as focused as you are. So the hell with it. Move on. And he says, it's not that easy for us men to do the same after you get hurt like that. It's true, it's not, because we have somehow in truthful, we live for women. We love women. And women are very important to us for many reasons. I've discussed in other videos a few years back. But the fact is that we identify our quality and our worthiness by the attention of a woman and satisfaction of a woman toward us from all aspects. What we provide for them, how comfortable they are in sexual settings, how well we performed, how pleased they are, did they come or not. All that seems to be um, configurations that we count on in order to define ourselves. And that's a problem. Because then we are hanging on the affirmation or the attention or the commitment and the loyalty of a woman to us in order to have certain image or certain credibility and worthiness in ourselves, which is not supposed to be based on that shit at all. Because if they're not loyal to you, if they did not continue their commitment and their vows, it's on them. Not a reflection on you, it's a reflection on them. But because you, as a man, simply have been conditioned since millions of years ago that if you get a woman, then you're a man. If you don't get the woman, then somebody else is. It's a big bullshit that has gone through. That was when the time was the time of dinosaurs. That's how we define ourselves. But now we define ourselves in so many different ways. The accomplishments we have in life, the education we have, the contribution we have to our societies, what we do for the world, how better place we make it to be, what kind of a help we offer to the others, what we facilitate for others to advance in their lives, what we produce, what we teach, what we share, what we accomplish, what we learn. So it's not just about how many girls we fuck or how many girls pay attention to us. That has its own place, but it doesn't have any place in defining you. Why? Because the women are not adhering to the values that they used to adhere to. Every man is after intimacy with a woman. Every heterosexual man is after intimacy with a woman. And the women know it. So they have so many choices. And they don't have to do anything for this attention because this attention is engraved in the fiber of our program as a heterosexual man to pay attention and to focus and to go after a woman. So they've got it easy. So many men are paying attention to them. So if they're not committed to you, it's not on you. It's on their weakness and their ineffective lifestyle for a long duration. They cannot create a lifestyle where you can count on. And if that's the kind of woman that you're dealing with, you're supposed to close your eyes on it and move on. Why? Because there are also many other amazing women still out there. So don't be hung up on the fact that her choice about you defines you. It doesn't. It defines her. If she's got you, every man should think this way. If she's got you and she still leaves, then she's not of the sound mind. Why? Because you're the best of the best. That's how you should think of yourself. So if somebody, after you've been decent and kind and good to her, she still goes somewhere else, she's an asshole. Face it. Don't protect it. She's an asshole. Someone that you cannot, maybe not an asshole, but someone you cannot build anything with because you cannot trust her commitment level. And what good is it if you can't have the same level of commitment with someone? And if someone shows you that they don't have the same level of commitment as you do, then what good are they to you? If they're not good, are they good to you? Why are you hanging on to this whole idea? I can't move on. Why? Why can't you move on? What hold do they have on you? What have they done for the society, for the world, for you to think that without them you can't go on? This world still has the opportunities out there, amazing women out there to die for. So the heck with the one who doesn't want you. Big deal. There's so many amazing other ones. I'll go offer them what I can. Whatever they think I worth nothing or worth a lot. I'm gonna offer them my life or my whatever I do accomplish in this life. That is how you move on, rather than sitting, oh, she's fucking somebody else. What about me? Who cares? What she chooses and fucks with or is with does not define you or make you or break you. You do. So open your eyes, look at there's a world out there, filled with opportunities, so many things you can learn and examine and research and produce and help and accomplish, plus so many opportunities to get to know so many amazing women out there. Go find a wonderful one that on this stage of life is willing to share with you what you want to share with her. So don't get stuck on that. Ed. Yeah, you're right. But so big deal. No big deal. Now you know it, so move on. No damage done. It's all thoughts. No damage done. Just move on. No, you're not damaged for life. What bullshit is that? What do you mean? What? The whole world's lives opened up and she fell through it. What's her capabilities for this world? The world is not hanging on. You're only hanging on. Why? Because you're only hanging on the fact that all you could get was what? Some intimacy. What else did you get from her? Loyalty? Well, at 16 years down the drain. So what loyalty? She can't have all those credits. So look at her for what she is. Don't look at her what she was at one time between you two. She's not that girl anymore. You didn't lose that girl. That's your problem. You think you have lost that girl that you asked to marry you. That girl is not there anymore. That girl hasn't gone anywhere. That girl will always be with you. This girl, the actuality of this woman who left you, is not the actuality of the woman that you asked to marry you. It's a different person now. The consciousness have changed. Look at her actuality as the way she is, and you will see this girl you don't want to have anything to do with. With this mentality and this behavior, this way of treatment of you, this level of loyalty, this attitude, you want to have nothing to do with this girl. In fact, you unwant this one. In fact, you're happy that she's not with you. Why? Because it wouldn't have worked. She's changed. She's not the same girl that you always had, whatever you had with her. In that way, there's no damage. You actually, good ridden. You're free now to go and find. You're young. You're just 40 some years old. Best time of your life. Strong, wise, as much as far more than before. Have a career, and everything is now ready to offer it to a better girl. She was good as long as he was good. No longer she is good. Do not look at her with the eye of the past. Look at her with the eye of the now. The eye of the now shows you who she is today, and what she is today, who she is today is not qualified for what you expect and what you want to build. And that way, disqualify her. Let her go. And that's how you should look at her. Well, when you say she took my daughter away, you can't allow that. You should have joint custody and be involved in your daughter's life as best a father as you can be forever. That's got nothing to do with her. What do you think? What's wrong with you? She took your daughter. What does that mean? Go to court and get joint custody and be instrumental in your daughter's life. Supervise as a father that you are and be the best father you can be. Simple. That's all. Don't fold and crawl. You've got rights. And be a good father. And Mary Sverko says, I have been watching you for a long time now. Then why the hell have I not heard from you, Mary? Where's your head been? Mary says, women love men. That's what we like. That's why we love you guys. She says, we get just as hurt. I think as hurt. Yeah, as hurt. Shirin says, it's always great listening to you. Well, thank you, Shirin Jan. Appreciate it. Let me know, Shirin, where you're located and your age, please. Mary says, I'm amazing at picking the wrong person. Well, we all have our own specialties. But every one of them that we choose are the right person at the beginning. It's just that through the time, things change as we're all dynamically changing on the consciousness level. And so at one point, that one moment, that 1 minute, and that day, we were compatible. But then from then on, why? Because the only compatibility that we're focusing on is the attraction, physical attraction. And we think, oh my goodness, she's amazing. She looks so good. Look at all that beauty and all that smile and all that. And that's it. Then every other good standards and expectations, qualifications that we expect, we give it to her. And probably you guys maybe do the same thing. And that's why it's built on no real foundation. But through the time of getting to know each other, we'll see if there is enough compatibility or not. And we see that there is not. But because biological needs and connection and intimacy is being fulfilled, we kind of have a hard time to focus on the actuality of what makes a relationship break or make or break. So we tolerate, and we still keep thinking, oh no, she's great, or you guys think about us. But in fact, what's great is what we need from you, not actual interaction. We need sex, we need intimacy, we need the touch, we need the holding, we need oxytocin, and we can get it from each other by hugging, by touching, by seeing each other smile. And that keeps us going and putting up with the bullshit that the rest of our consciousness is involved in. And we don't notice it because we constantly favor the pleasure, the desire for pleasure, and by favoring that, we close our eyes, pull a wool over our eyes on the other things that is totally not compatible and the reason that we should not continue the relationship. But it's hard not to. Why? Because of sex, because the sexual attraction. And if we can separate these two and understand that the sexual attraction no matter how long we use it to keep this relationship together, is not going to be enough to keep this relationship together, then we will sever that relationship based on lack of compatibility on the consciousness level, rather than basing it on the fact that we are sexually, pleased in one way or another. At least we have something to, enjoy physically. That's not going to be doing it. Eventually, it's going to make you fed up, and you will not be able to endure the incompatibility between the consciousness level just because you have some intimacy desires fulfilled. And in the long run, it will not work. So might as well, from the beginning, check it out. Maybe you guys enjoy each other for a while, and eventually you got to come to your senses that this cannot go on, because after a while, this sexual intimacy will also become, not novelty anymore. And because of the incompatibility in the consciousness level, you won't be able to actually endure or enjoy the sexual experiences with each other either. Don't wait for that time. Take a break from your, desires and focus on what's here. Can we build anything with it or not in the long run? And then you will be able to make the decision before any one of you, kind of leaves the other without a discussion and, logical consideration of how the relationship is going or not going. All right. Thomas HXDTL says hello. Hello, Thomas. Thomas, give us your credentials, please. Age, gender, where you're tuning in from. Ed says, I changed because of that. I'm another person now. As I don't go as everybody do in this life, as letting every problem that we have go easy, like nothing happened. Someone have to be responsible. No, it depends how tough you want to make your life. If you think you can expect yourself or your partner to be perfect, well, that's the problem. All of us make mistakes, and none of us have problems. So you can't really cling into every little mistakes that one makes, but at the same time, there are limits to that as well. Mary says, I'm at work. I'm so happy to be listening. And says that would be mine. Yeah, your specialty to pick the wrong ones. And all the other comments, which I don't know where it relates to because I don't remember what I was saying. She says, so true. Yes, we do. Okay. And HXDTL says 21 Portugal male. Thank you for that. It says she will be 40 in January. Ah, okay. You're 40, Right now you have so many options. Good, like 41 you are. Don't knock it down. You're at the best time of your life. Best time of your life. Physically, hopefully you're keeping in shape and doing some exercises and workouts and all that. Taking care of that. You work good, make good money. You educate yourself in different things that you're interested in. You are in a prime time of your life. There'll be girls right now I'm telling you, from age 26 to 7 up, they're willing to get to know you. If you choose them right and see how compatible you are, 30, 35, 36, and you will find lots of options. And Ed, you still haven't told me where you are. Did you? Did you tell me you're in New York? Did you say? Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, I think you did. You're in New York somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, New York, 41 male. Yo, my goodness, New York, so many beautiful girls. Stop it. Stop the bullshit and go on and live your life. Life is short, Ed. Don't waste it on bullshit. Don't waste it on past. Don't waste it on all these things. And she did this, she did that. Fuck it. Doesn't matter. Go on with another woman. If that didn't work and you're a decent guy, another woman. Live your life. Don't stop it just because somebody else makes some decision. Okay, they're entitled to make a decision for their own life. That's their life as well. Respect it. But respect your own life too. Go on. Live your life. Don't get hung up on these things. Be the best father you can be. Don't forget your daughter. That's the most important thing to define you. Not her, your daughter, and your duties. And then find another nice girl. David Smith says, male 34 UK, says, my GF left me suddenly 2 months ago, just saying she lost feelings. She lost feelings. Well, go find it. She moved out and immediately blocked my number. Okay, the hell with her. And email, so I couldn't contact. Why do you want to contact someone that's left you like that? Why the fuck would you want to contact someone who behaves that way? Why? Why? Have you asked yourself why? There is no reason. There's no manners there for you to be questioning why she left. Why? She left because she's the kind of girl that she is. She can't handle things. She can't discuss things. She can't find logics about anything. And perhaps she's an asshole. Why can't you see that? Why? Because you want something from her. You want something from her. That's why you can't judge her. You want the intimacy. Yeah. Instead of making something great out of yourself, qualify yourself, endow yourself with knowledge, education, abilities, accomplishments, and then you will have many choices from amazing, qualified, beautiful women out there. Instead, you're being lazy and you just want the one that was around. And because you want something from her, you cannot see who she is and the quality she offers, which is zero. Move on. Next. It says, even though she's treated me horrible. Yeah, then what are you waiting for? Why do you want to contact someone who treated you horribly and left like that? Why? What's wrong with you? Let me introduce you to my little friend, my ugly stick. If you don't take good care of yourself, you'll be meeting my ugly. You guys are lucky that there is no flights available. Otherwise, I would be traveling around beating you guys up your heads. Not up your heads, on your heads. So get your motorcycle helmets ready that it's coming. It's coming. As soon as the world becomes normal and these jackasses stop threatening us with taking our freedom away, and we grow a pair and resist and get our freedom back and get the world back, then I can travel and beat the crap out of every one of you, provided you have your helmets on. David, you're going to get double kick. I still love and miss her. Why? You don't love her. Come on. You want something from her. That's all. You're blinded. Don't be a weak man that because she left you, then you think, oh, I got to prove to her that I'm worthy of her. Why? Because she rejected you. We have a hard time taking rejections. And that's what you're reacting to. She left me. She didn't want me. That means I'm not good. So I have to now go crawl and make sure I do anything she wants just so that she likes me. Because then I feel I'm valuable. I'm worthy. Why? Because who's she? She's the one who you want sex from. That's why you think she's important. Otherwise, if you really look at her, what's important about her? What has she accomplished in this life? What has she done for the community, society? What has she done for the elderly? What kind of how many children she has saved or, fed or, helped to grow? What has she accomplished? What has she done to make this world better? None. So what is it that when she behaves like you, treats you like you, and does this kind of behavior, you're running after her ass? Why? Because you want sex. You think because she facilitates pleasure, sexual pleasure, then you think the whole concept of pleasure has left you. That's why you're following her. But if you look at it as an individual, as an entity, which is offering and capable of facilitating something that every other woman out there can, then you won't look at it with such so special whatever. You focus on her behavior and judge her based on her behavior and how she's treated you, interacted with you. And you'll see she's just an hoodlum. So your desire for pleasure does not justify or qualify that she is of any high standards. Your needs for something that she can facilitate does not describe her qualities and mentality and compatibility or class or valuability. You must open your eyes. All right, don't get me pissed off now. Ed. Astley says, okay, good. All right. So who have I missed here? Let me do some interdimensional cup. Drinking tea. Nice. So, oh, hang on, guys. One more. Okay. Sanjeev Krishna says, thank you, sir. Welcome. Oh, I see. That's, we've already responded to these. Mystery says, the biggest lie, though, and enforced from childhood is that we are not complete without a mate. This leads to coupling up with a wrong and unevolved child far too soon. Well, we are in need of companion anyhow. We need to be in touch with a mate and to bring balance and chemical balance to ourselves and balance in mentality and psychology and neurotransmitters such as oxytocin. So we do need to have a mate, but that would be the ultimate purpose of life is not correct, because there's a lot more things that you can experience and learn and contribute to the society, and hence you have a life of different qualities because of those. But it is very important to have a mate for intimacy and to bring that chemical balance in us. I mean, a heterosexual male loves women. I have to have a woman to interact with. I can live without one, but that's not my preference. That's not the balance. Um, there is the energy, different energy and different chemicals produced when a man and a woman are together than just a man alone or the woman alone. But how we choose that partner is very important. It shouldn't be just because we need that chemical reaction. It should be based on many other aspects. That's why it can be a mistake selection or a correct selection, or at least a better selection. Astley says, male 30, London. Hi, sir. How do you build a foundation getting to know a woman during a relationship? Just get to know her by her actions, not by your desire for pleasure. Because you cannot get to know a woman when you're all starry eyes and all focused on how pleasurable it is to touch her, be with her physically, and so on. You should focus on her interactions, actions in life, the way she negotiates with the challenges of life, the way she interacts with you, your problems, and how you interact with her and her problems. These are the ways that you guys, through day to day life and how you negotiate life, will get to know about each other and see if you're qualified or compatible or not. Otherwise, every heterosexual male loves a beautiful leg and beautiful figure and face and I don't know, all the rest of it. And every heterosexual woman would love a well groomed, well behaved, well mannered man. But then what about the content of the consciousness? That's where the relationships take place. If you're only focused on the physical attributes, then that's as deep as it can go for you. And soon enough, you will not have anything else to keep that physical interest, because physical interest after a while stops being that interesting unless there is an emotional connection that has been created through the first duration of getting to know each other, and you created this bond on the consciousness level. So the physical interaction would and attraction would last even longer, because now there's an reasons and emotions towards, in addition to the physical attraction. Because the physical attraction, it will be very limited. After a while being together, if there is nothing else on the consciousness level as far as compatibility, there's there's going to be limitation to that interest. It can't go any further. But when you add the dynamic interaction of the consciousnesses, then the physical attraction will continue further, because there's a lot more to like than just the physical presence of a person. Because if that was the case, that's why when people don't have enough um, compatibility and bonding on consciousness level, they constantly jump from one branch to another. That girl and that one's got a prettier leg, and let's go with that one's got nice boobs, and that one is so pretty, smile at me and lovely. I think she's the best of the best. But all of them going to be after a few months again in the same level as this one is, that you're not bonding on consciousness level. So both are important. The physical attraction period is a chance, prelude for you to get to know each other's consciousness and bond on that level. If you miss that and it's only physical activities and only physical interest, then that physical attraction will wean off. And then there's nothing else that you built while that was hot. And therefore it cools off. When it cools off, if there's no bonding on consciousness level, well, there's nothing else to keep you guys together. Anyhow, Ed says we do not have that many choices as they do. Okay. We are not as beautiful as they are, but they're not choosing us based on how we choose them. We initially choose them based on their beauty and fitness and all that. That's not how they choose us. It is important to be well groomed and fit and all that. That's for sure. But that's not what they're looking for. Do not think that the girls are choosing you or looking at you and selecting you the way your criteria is for selecting them. They're not looking at your butt necessarily. They're looking to see what you're made out of, how you treat them, how safe they feel with you, how committed you are, how you can provide. They're looking at you to see what you're made out of, how you manage and handle and negotiate challenges of life. If they can lean on you, they may talk big and loud and that I am this and I'm a feminist and this. At the end of the day, they're looking at you for provisions and safety and safeguardness and protection. That is what a woman wants from a man, regardless of how powerful and educated and wealthy she is, because her nature is to look at the man as a provider, even if she provides herself perfectly well, as a protector, because that is not in her genes to be protecting herself, even if she's a martial artist. They have a certain understanding in their genome what a man should be to them, what makes them feel safe and complete with what kind of a man. And they're not looking for pretty boy. So many amazing looking, drop dead gorgeous women you can see are married or have boyfriends that they look like shit. But obviously they've got something else to offer. Either money, either manners, either education, either wisdom, or maybe the girl is an asshole and the guy is an asshole, they match perfectly well. I don't know. But they're not choosing you the way you're choosing them. So get that out of your head and don't limit or disrespect women to think that they're just as shallow as we are. They're not. They're more sophisticated. That's why if you choose a good woman, it serves you right not to go just after your desires for pleasure. Remik 971 says, hi, male 24 Poland. and says, don't don't know if you remember me. I do. I do. I think I do. You had, let's see, because I read something about you. You said, but you helped me in the past a lot. You made a video about losing your father, so I could help my dad going through death of his dad. Yeah, I did. I think I remember that. Just here to say hello. Oh, hello, Remik. Good to see you here, dear. I'm glad that you had a chance to say hello to us. Hope all is going well for you and for your dad. And thank you for stopping by. Mystery says exactly we must come to grip with the fact that males and females are hormonal chemical cocktails which have distinctly differing compositions at different phases in life. Being conscious, respectful, and knowledgeable of what another might be experiencing at a particular juncture is imperative to a couple's well being. Relationship must be selfless at times, know thyself and thy mate. There we go. It says, well, I'm doing what I can, but America does not want me to work anymore if I don't get a drug inside me. So after January, I'm going for a long vacation until they let me work again. If not, see you later. Ed, I understand, and I'm with you on that. I don't like to put that shit in my body either, because they don't even know what it is. So I don't blame you at all, and you resist and protect yourself, and make your choice. Whoever makes a choice to get that what they offer, more power to them. That's their choice, and we love them the same, and we protect them. We are one and the same, all united, regardless of what your choice is. You want to get that thing in, by all means. You're still my brother, you're still my sister. And certainly we're not going to let them to choose this difference in selection and preferences to come between us, because that's their plan, to separate us so they can rule us. We don't get separated. You want to get that thing, go get it. I will drive you to where you want to get it. I'll protect you. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. And everybody else should be on your side. Whether they got it or didn't get it, they love you and protect you, because we are all human beings and we're all together. And the governments are not our saviors. They have their own agenda. They have proven they don't work for us. They are turning us back into fascism and communism and dictatorialship. This is contrary to what our forefathers in different corners of the world died for: freedom, for democracy. And these assholes now in the most advanced nations on earth that have been beacon of democracy for years, now they're trying to turn around and make what our fathers died for, our species died for, which is freedom. They're trying to take that away from us in the name of some kind of a garbage made up bullshit. You know, it's not something we haven't dealt every year. Every year we've dealt with some kind of a cold, a very bad cold, and many people died. And this is no different. Still a very bad one. Certainly we got to do what we can do to protect ourselves, but not allowing in the process a government to come and tell you what you can put and must put in your body and what cannot. What's the difference? And when are they going to be what the British Empire did to the Irish? I think it was. What was it called at the time? The king decreed that the landlords, where the commoners supposedly were living in that land, the landlord would have the first sexual right on the wedding night of a woman who gets married in that land. Prima nocte. I think it was called prima nocte. This is a fucking idiotic, stupid thing. And that's why the Irish rose and destroyed the hell out of them. Now, this is no different. Where is it going to be to the level, this fascism? Today, they're going to tell you what you must put in here. It's your body, but they decide what should go here. Tomorrow, they're going to tell you who you should sleep with and who you shouldn't. And the next day, they're going to tell you that they have the right, the sexual right for your woman because they say so. Where are we going? I mean, this is how it was 1,000 years ago. 5, 6, 700 years ago, 800 years ago. Now we're getting back to kind of moving toward that kind of a system. So when are we going to stand up and resist for what our forefathers died for? We're going to believe the bullshit? No matter what, we have the right to our own bodies. So protect yourselves. Mystery says, by the way, I've been a therapist. I've been a therapist more than several times during my life, not by choice, including psychiatrists. Oh, okay. Mystery. And Morgan Freelancer says, the great feminine. I don't know what that means, but okay. Well, guys, it's been a while. I think perhaps it's time for me to, if there are no more questions, before they cancel me, if they hear what I just said. you guys, I mean, we can't even talk freely anymore. They cancel you, delete you. What kind of a world are we getting into? So, and Mystery says, history is written by the victors. If any more believes American history has written, they are well misinformed. Yeah, true. Okay, guys, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I hope we don't get canceled because of the discussions that we had. So I look forward to talk to you again, hopefully later on tonight, maybe about 1 o'clock in the morning, because it's weekend and I know many of you across the world would have a free day. So maybe I'll change the timing tonight to reach more of you. Otherwise, I look forward to have another live stream with you next week at 1 p.m. Vancouver time. But I will have other live streams during the week. So please do subscribe if you haven't. Click on the bell and choose the option always. So if I go live spontaneously, you'll be informed. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com, making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.